What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone for a positive update for once in the first part of the video. In the second part of the video, I think everybody will agree that it's a disaster type of news. But Gyokeres, we have made contact. It has been confirmed. And actually, I'm not going to tell you that, but this guy is going to tell you that.
Then, for Victor Gyokeres, calls also from Italy. I can tell you that Juventus, with the old director Cristiano Giuntoli, and even now with the new director Como Lee, with Giorgio Chiellini, also had some contacts over the weekend to be informed on the Gyokeres deal. Then, we know for Italian clubs to do this kind of deal is complicated financially, so it's not easy. I'm not saying that Gyokeres is going to Juventus, but I can guarantee that Juventus called over the weekend to be informed on the Victor Gyokeres situation. Then, let's see what's going to happen there with Man United, with Juventus, and also with Al Hilal.
Okay, so you've heard that. Now I'm asking you to smash the like button for the positive news for once, and then we're gonna talk about what it could mean and if it's fantasy, yes or no. Gyokeres, probably the hottest prospect out there when it comes to striker, and probably the player who has the most offers, But right now, in talks with agents, nothing special because Manu are interested, but they only make contacts through intermediaries. So between agents helping a deal, Al Hilal made contacts, and we made contact directly, twice with the old management, Giuntoli, and now the new management with Chiellini and Comoli. However, it's not the easiest deal, and we know that for two simple reasons. One, Premier League clubs are interested. They have more money than us, obviously. Two, or three reasons actually. Two, one of those clubs is Man U and coached by his ex-coach Amorim, so that it doesn't help us. And three, what are you selling Gyokeres at this moment in time? Are you selling him a clear project? Because we as fans are very confused and things sounds completely unclear of what we actually want to do as a club. So what are you selling Gyokeres at this moment in time? Now, the positive thing is that we made contact, even now Giuntoli is gone, because again, Giuntoli could be interested, but the new management could say, we don't want Gyokeres, absolutely no chance, we want something else. But the fact that we made contact again, to see what the options, possibilities are, to say, okay, does Gyokeres actually, is he thinking about other clubs than potentially Man U or whatever? If so, yeah, okay, then we're not going to waste our time and we move on to maybe a Retegi or who else is the option. But the fact that we made contact, and according to Romano, it's not been shut down. It's not a done deal. It's not advanced. It's nothing. It's just contact about, okay, what is the situation? Is there a possibility? So what are the price? What is the price? What are the wage demand? Etc. All those things. So it will cost you around 65 million euros to bring him in just on the transfer fee. And then you obviously need to pay the wages, which are not going to be cheap, because he can demand ridiculous wages now that Saudi League clubs are in for him, Man U are in for him, and they pay ridiculous wages. So it's definitely not the easiest of deals. And if we fail to sign a player like that, I won't, hold that against the club at this moment in time. It's impossible. Like if these players say no to Juve, it kind of makes sense considering the situation we're in as a club. Yeah, Man U are potentially in a worse situation, but as a player, ex-coach, is the Premier League, it is what it is these days. The positive news is that we didn't throw that out of the window completely. It's still out there. It's still a potential option. It's still something the club might be we are selling Vlahovic. Colomani might be saying we don't want Jonathan David, and the other options are Retiki for almost the same type of money, 45, 50 million euros. And what else? What other options are there? There are not many options out there, and you need to do something. So that is a massive positive update. Whether we get it over the line, we don't get it over the line, we push for it, we do not push for it, whatever. The fact that the club is still interested in these type of players, not just interested, but also make contact to say, okay, we are here at the window. What are the demands? What are the possibilities? Is at least as a positive, step in the right direction, I would say, even though it feels impossible. I think everybody watching this, like, it's never going to happen. And I have that same feeling. It feels impossible, but still, A nice update. Now, I need to move on to the next update because that is not nice. An update that's completely not nice. An update that's not fun to talk about, and that describes the club we are right now. According to Mirko Natale, we've made contact to listen what the availability options are when it comes to Disasi. He's a Chelsea player at loan, I think, at Aston Villa. Uh, and they're keeping an eye on him because he can play as a center back and a right back. This takes me back to a talk I had, a conversation I had with Julian on this channel when it came to Bernardeschi, and we were selling him, and the talk was, no, he can play multiple positions. No, he cannot. Right back and left back, he's played in those positions. He cannot play both positions. Actually, he's bang average in each of those positions. He's mistake prone and he's not a good defender. Period. Actually, he's very average. So the fact that we are interested in a 27-year-old who got loaned out to Aston Villa, who's not good and is not solid defensively, is insane. The fact that you lost players like Huijsen and then you're ready to spend, because they won already, they won 30 plus million for these players. It's insanity. Top that off with Giovanni Albanese coming out saying, well, Kelly didn't convince, shocking, and the club is looking to potentially sell him already. That's when we are linked with bad players, and the talk is, or people are saying, give him a chance, don't be negative. No, there's no need. That's not negative. We all have eyes. If a player's not good enough, he's not good enough. There's not about give him a chance. That's avoiding the club making a mistake, trying to, talk some sense and say Kelly was rubbish. He's not going to become amazing just because we signed him. He's 27 or whatever he is. He's not going to change. He is who he is. Same for Disasi. He's not going to change. Being linked with these players is sad on so many different levels when our backline is deprived of quality. You're just adding more problems to already a problematic situation at the club. So that's the negative. These links are just shocking. They're embarrassing. And actually, they take away any positivity you want to commit to have when it comes to a new project, a new season, etc. When you talk about Gyokeres and then you turn around and you see these type of updates, it's like, what the hell? Because these are good sources, by the way. It's not crap. It's not made up. I'm not saying it's a done deal. We're going to sign them. But the fact that the club is thinking about, these players is already a massive red flag. These are not good players. They're very average footballers who cost a lot of money and demand quite some wages as well. So that's that. But what I do want to ask you, what do you think about Gyokeres? Because that's the only thing that really matters. Let me know in the comments, and I'll speak to you guys later. Ciao.